journaling time.
All right, what's up, party people? How's everybody doing this fine evening? All right, I see we got Linda's back. Linda is one of our earliest party people, and I'm glad you made it back to us. We missed you. Got an excellent show for you this evening. Where's my wife? There's my wife. Wait, why isn't she on the screen?
I don't know. There I am. Yes, I was wondering what was going on.
Awesome. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I was worried you weren't going to make it, but I just realized that I didn't. It was my fault. I didn't push the button to put you on the screen.
I know. Don't worry, I'm here.
Awesome. We've got Annie's in the house. We got Teresa's here. Melissa, what's up, Melissa? How you doing? Back in my little studio here today, so it's interesting. I've got more tools and things to play with, but I'm out of practice of all this. So hopefully it goes off without a hitch. I think we'll do all right. Beverly's here. What's up, Beverly? Awesome. Yeah, we'll give everybody a couple minutes to trickle in, and in the meantime, let me get our little program set up for us this evening. All right. So this evening, we have a program called Mindful Momentum. Now, I've been pretty productive lately. That's why I'm in this studio. I'm building out our whole content arm here, trying to make more enjoyable videos for everybody. People seem to love the guided journaling stuff, so we're taking it to the YouTubes and doing all this stuff. But in my excitement and in all my busyness and productivity, it's so easy to spin out. When I am in this sort of mode of productivity, trying to accomplish something, sometimes, you get sucked in, and I think it's important. I think at least personally, I think my best work is done when I'm mindful about it, when I'm in the present moment and not just simply reacting to everything that's being thrown at me or that's happening. Not that we shouldn't react to things, but I think coming from a place of presence, we can be a little bit more intentional about what we create in our experience. And so tonight's program is as you can see here, Mindful Momentum. It's to transform intention into action through some bite-sized reflections. So as usual, we've got 10 prompts for us this evening, 3 minutes per prompt. And let's see, do we have any newbies in the house tonight? Let me know. Deidre's here. Liz is here. What's up, guys? Gals, I should say. All right. Mary's here. Wouldn't be a party without Mary.
Hello, Mary.
Mary's got a new book out. It's a children's book. We helped her with a little guided journaling companion to that book, but actually, I don't think everyone can see it in the app. You have to actually have access to it. But if you've got a youngster, then reach out to Mary in the Facebook group, and maybe she'll show you what's up with that book. Dee, what's up? How's San Antonio? Hopefully not too hot. We were on a live Zoom with Dee the other day, and it was like over 100 degrees there, and she was still in great spirits. All right, Crystal's new. Cool.
Hi, Crystal. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Glad you found us. So what you've stumbled upon here is Journal Party Live, and Journal Party Live is just a part of the Journal Party stack. And basically what we do is every Wednesday night we get together and we journal through the newest programs inside of our app. So that's what you're seeing on our screen here. And actually I can put the QR code here. If you want, you can scan that QR code and download it, or just visit the Apple App Store or Google Play. And there's even a web-based version available at app.journalparty.com that you can access at any time. And typically what we do on Wednesday nights is we debut our newest programs. And so as I was saying earlier, tonight's program is called Mindful Momentum. So the idea is to cultivate a little bit of mindfulness as we pursue our goals and our intentions. I was just sharing that, I get sucked in. I love productivity. I love being useful and busy, but oftentimes if you get too sucked in, and at least personally, I can only speak for myself. I can start to spin out. So I really rely on my journal. I really rely on meditation. Just practices like these that can remind us to come back to center and be a little bit more conscious in our creative endeavors. So I think you're really going to like this program this evening. It's going to be it should be pretty simple as usual. We've got 10 prompts. We're doing 3 minutes per prompt. And let's see, it's already 6 after. So I think it's about time to get this party started. Alex, do you want to do the odds or the evens this evening?
I will do, how about the odds?
The odds. Okay, sounds good. All right, so that means you're first up. You ready?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's get going.
All right, everyone, go ahead, open up your journals, and let's get this party started. When you see the prompts, just start writing. Don't overthink it. And if you need help, just drop something in the chat. Plenty of helpful, loving people in the party here that can help you out. All right, let's get going.
Starting point. Where in your life do you feel the most stuck or stagnant right now? Describe both how it feels and what small movement might be possible.
Okay, here comes your next one. First step. What's one tiny action you could take today that aligns with your bigger vision? Why does this particular step feel right?
Hidden strengths. What personal qualities have helped you overcome obstacles in the past that you might be overlooking now?
All right, resistance radar. What specific resistance or fear comes up when you think about making this change? Speak to it directly.
Success snapshot. Imagine having taken consistent small steps for 1 month. What would be different in how you feel or what you see?
Support system. Who or what could provide encouragement as you build momentum? How might you invite this support?
Learning loops. Recall a time when you made progress by experimenting and adjusting. What did you learn about building momentum?
Energy audit. What currently drains your energy and what energizes you? How might you shift the balance even slightly?
Permission slip. What do you need to give yourself permission to do or not do to create sustainable movement forward?
Last one. Tomorrow's micro move. What specific tiny action will you take tomorrow that would feel like a win if completed? All right. How'd everyone do? How'd you do, Alex?
I've always known that building momentum has been a challenge for me. And unless I'm super passionate about something, I find it hard to kind of get the ball rolling. So this was definitely a great session for me personally. And I think kind of the main takeaway was, I have the heart and soul and desire to help people, and I want to kind of focus on that, and that really allows me to um, kind of move forward and accelerate. And I also identified that I need to embrace more of the learning phase of life and embrace, all the mistakes along the way. Because if I'm not like an expert in something, or I feel like I'm not knowledgeable enough, I just kind of abandon it. So I have a lot of work to do.
Oh, well, that's an important insight to have, though. There's a lot of, I see a lot of that, because I work with a lot of like other creative entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And there's always that like little bit of imposter syndrome. Like, I definitely get that. And, I think it's important to be honest with your own capabilities, and, that's fine. But I think the way that I've had it be the way that I've approached it, that's been helpful for me, let's phrase it that way, is just being curious and excited about something, right? Because that's where it all starts. And from there, you don't have to necessarily be the expert, but if you can be curious enough to go find an expert, then that's often enough. You can learn stuff in that process, and if what your intention is to bring value to people in that lane, then just by bringing that to the group, I think that's how I would go about that. But yeah, I experience the same thing all the time. You know, I had a couple of interesting insights for me, and it's funny. These are all things that I'm like background aware of, but I feel like this process is so cool because you bring it to the front. Like, there's no during that 3 minutes that timer is going. It's like, oftentimes it's like I'll know immediately what the answer is, and then I have to like sit with it for 2 minutes and like really absorb. Like, oh
Oh, there it
yeah,
is.
and the big one for me here, and I'm sure you're well aware of this too, is I need to give myself permission to rest. Like, I'm just addicted to productivity and to creating things, which is cool in a way because I create a lot of stuff. We have this awesome community that we can all enjoy together. But it's like this monkey's paw or double-edged sword kind of thing where in my quest to bring value to everybody, I run myself into the ground sometimes, and then the quality would then suffer. And so it's important to catch that before that even happens. And so my biggest thing here is like, okay, I've been telling myself and journaling about this all week. I am so tired. Like, I am exhausted. And, I guess in my head, like, there's always this like never ending to-do list because I add stuff to it all the time. But what I kind of liked about that last prompt was having like just even one little thing that would make the day a win for you. And that was really nice because it's like, okay, yeah, I have a laundry list of things that I want to accomplish tomorrow, probably. That said, if I really distill it down, it's like, all right, if I even did a couple of these things based off of how productive I've already been this week, that would be monumental and huge. And really, even beyond that, I guess this was the permission slip prompt. Like, if I could just give myself permission to catch up on the sleep debt that I've got, and maybe even take a nap if I need it, I think I'll be much better off for it. So shining a light on that was good. And now, because I'm aware of it, there's really no excuse. And so if I think this might be like kind of the magic bullet for me here, because if I catch myself feeling like that tomorrow, well, I've already decided that rest would be the best, most productive thing to actually do. And it's funny, when you have to take your own medicine, like, we've got stickers and stuff that say rest is productive. And it's like I've got that stuff all around me, and here I am. I'm like, I gotta make 10 videos today. Like it's crazy, but
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, I'm happy that I love something so much that I launch out of bed every day and do that kind of work. But yeah, I mean, the deeper work for me will actually be allowing it to be enough sometimes, and
Yeah.
so that was a big one for me. The other one that I had, which I think kind of broke the mold a little bit from like the overall theme that was coming up in these prompts for me, was in the learning loops prompt, which was talking about you know what in the past have you done to I guess to gosh, I should write down the prompts so I can I can just read them back. But it's like, what have you done in the past to kind of like optimize moving forward, like experimenting and getting a little bit better. And that is something that like I professionally I actually live and breathe. Outside of Journal Party, I do a lot of advertising. I do a lot of media buying and marketing, which like the whole name of that game is optimization and experimenting, and figuring out what works so that you can do more of that and get some momentum. And I just kind of realized like that, well, there's certain insights from that actually play into some of these other areas of my life that I hadn't really realized before. And so the biggest thing is when you're trying to, create that momentum and off of experimentation and learnings, the biggest thing that I've learned in that experience is that you can't experiment with too much at once, because then you have no idea what caused the effect. So like even if you do a bunch of stuff and like the next day is awesome, it's like great, well, which one of those things did that? Maybe it doesn't mean that it had to be one thing, but by controlling it and having like these single, isolating the variables is what we would call it. Then you can actually understand what's moving the needle for you, and actually benefit from some of this experimentation. Otherwise you're just treading water and flailing about. And so that's something that I'm super well versed with in the ads, and like live and die by that. But I think applying it to everything else, it's like, okay, well, I get it. I'll get excited about like a new endeavor or something like that, and just want to change all the things, like all of them at once, and do it all at once. And really, it would probably serve me better to take just one little thing. Let's just change one little thing and see what
Less is
happens.
more, babe. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's very admirable to see how excited you get with everything. But as always, I'm here to
Read it in.
take a break every once in a while and collect your thoughts and move forward later. So
Yeah.
take that rest.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was leaning into it during the prompts too. I mean, I don't know if you caught me. I was stretching here and taking deep breaths. I'm like, one point I had like the deepest yawn I've had in like weeks, and it was just like, I needed that real bad. So yeah, it was. This was good work for me tonight. So I'm curious to see how everyone else did.
Check it out.
Let's see. So Jessica says the resistance question is the one I struggle with. I am on a journey to lose weight, and the biggest thing that stops me is laziness, yet I know what I need to do is the best thing for me. Interesting. The resistance question.
Jessica, that is the ultimate struggle. Both Alex and I have been on that journey as well. And it's, I mean, again, getting the momentum to get going, that's always the hardest. And every time you start and stop, you feel like you kind of revert back a little bit. So, yeah, I wish I had wiser words. But
I mean, well, so she's calling it laziness, which, that's one of the reasons why I go so hard on things, is because like I don't want to be judged as lazy, and so I overclock myself. And I'm seeing here like maybe what is like the opposite thing, and like just that like you just need to do something, and maybe you're perceiving the thing that you need to do as being, too big to even start. Like I would say, at least in my own personal like weight loss adventures, especially when I was doing like the behavioral type stuff through Noom, which was super awesome and super helpful because it's actually backed by like behavioral science, was just break it down. Like, I mean, and you can do that with most goals, right? But if you break it down into something, it's like, let's say it's exercise, right? It's like I'm in my heyday, I was used to running miles or, walking a lot and doing all this exercise, lifting lots of heavy weights. And it's like, in my head, it's like, oh, I need to do that. I haven't done that. And like, but because I haven't done it, like in that and with that much vigor and in so long, it really is more helpful. It's like, all right, like I don't need to do 10 miles or whatever it is. Like, let me just walk around the block, see how that feels.
Start small, start one day a week, whatever, just one small change, spend a week doing that and sitting with that. And then I just know in my personal weight loss journey, that's what has helped, is just start small, because I also know myself and I know that I'm not going to hit the ground running, and I'm not going to just instantly succeed, and I'm not going to just instantly become a different person and be, that's just not the reality of who I am. And I know that. So my recommendation is starting small, trying with one little change, one day in the week, and slowly building from there.
Yeah, well, because once you're in motion, then it's it doesn't have to be like literal motion, but like once you're in motion, it's so much easier to just keep going, and from there, like you're slowly molding yourself into the version of yourself that you want to be. And I think it's so much easier than to just like throw yourself into the deep end. Sometimes that's necessary for sure, but weight loss is one of those things. It's definitely not going to happen overnight, right? Like, yeah. And I think societally, we're all just so conditioned for instant gratification, and it's that one is just definitely a lifestyle switch. So good luck on that journey. You're definitely not alone. I mean, that's been like my weight has been a struggle my entire life, and finally feeling like I have a bit of a handle on it, which is well, I don't know. I guess I go in and out of feeling like I'm in good shape. It's a much harder thing to do now that I'm like approaching 40, though. Like, I never thought my metabolism would be something that slowed down and be something that would be fighting against me. But take it one day at a time. Maybe I'm not lifting as heavy or going as far on these cardio adventures. But
and that's okay.
It's
and something is better than nothing.
Exactly. It's okay if it's different than you imagine, and of course I think you just need to go from imagining it to actually doing it, which you get the sense of already, Jessica, as I can see in your
good
comment.
luck, Jessica. It's hard, but you got it, and you'll figure it out. You'll start building that momentum, but start small for sure.
Teresa says, I like it when I start these, even if I don't get to fully explore each prompt. Darn work. It can remind me of something I'm strong with, just making things happen without a complete plan, for example. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a pretty important insight, because none of us have perfect information, right? And especially in this day and age, right? Like, how are you supposed to even know what's up or down with the way that we're just overloaded with all of that information? And so, like, to have a complete plan with imperfect information is probably impossible. And I think what you're kind of touching on is something that I'm starting to get for myself, which is awesome. It is just trust, right? Like that if you kind of leap, the net will appear a little bit. And I think that's awesome. I'm sorry you gotta work during some of these, but I'm glad you get to come hang out a little bit. Let's see. Jessica says, I only missed the first question.
Okay.
That's what that emoji is, right? Like, yeah. Is it a high five?
For me, it's like I don't know.
Like it's good.
Yeah, like a hallelujah kind of thing. That's what
woo!
Yeah, I don't know. That's
Awesome. Sandy says, same here. What's worked for me in the past is walking 30 minutes after dinner. Maybe I should journal at the park.
Yes,
Ooh, you just remind me. We
absolutely.
used to do journaling in the park events here in Los Angeles. And Alex, we really should do that at least one more time before we leave this town.
It's interesting you say that because it actually came up for me today, and I remember like how wonderful that was. And talk about a journal party. It was just amazing to have like just even a tiny little community of people who are there to, to do the same thing and reflect together. And it was a lovely experience. But yeah, just start 30 minutes after dinner. Perfect. Again, that is a very achievable goal, and that's a wonderful place to start.
So, Alex was trying to get me to go on. You guys heard of this concept, the fart walks? what? What is that, Alex? So what is? We're
You need some balance.
enlighten us.
I'm sure if anyone else is on social media a little too much like myself, there is just this concept of after dinner taking a nice walk,
Just farting it
releasing
out.
gases and stuff, and
It's
just
healthy.
getting out of your because apparently it's healthy. It burns calories, and yeah, I think everyone can benefit from releasing the system a little bit.
You gotta
So
go somewhere big and open. Not a lot of people around.
exactly, yeah, but just let loose, as they say.
Sorry to throw you under the bus on that one,
Oh
but I mean, it's not like you came up with it. You just thought it was
no,
funny.
it's all over my social media, and
I think
so
it's
now
funny, and I'm down.
it's
I am like anybody. If you're in town, want to go on a fart walk, I'll go with you. Let's see. And four, it says rest was a big one for me too. Yeah, I mean, that one of my favorite things about doing journaling in this like group sort of setting is just you just realize how much like we're all kind of the same. Like we're all going through the same struggles. Obviously, our life experiences have not been the same, and people are going to have different stories, different experiences and trauma and things that they're up against. But these like little like neurotic tendencies that we all have, to things like denying ourselves rest or um, maybe wanting to improve the person that you see in the mirror. Like all of these things are just so common, and it's like I think journaling, while great in solitude, it's just it's so nice to be able to commune with people and get a little bit of confirmation, a little validation on those things that you're going through. And together I think that having that support is super super helpful. So yeah, rest up, and I will be doing my best to do the same. Melissa says, I need to give myself permission to let things go that no longer fit my needs in life. I have a bad habit of hanging on to too many things for sentimental reasons. That's interesting. I'm wondering if you talking about like physical things, or are we talking about like concepts, or like ideas that you're holding on to? People. I know some people hold on to some people they need to let go. But yeah, I mean, letting go as a practice is it's great because I think just as human beings we tend to kind of curate like a collection of things, whether it is physical stuff or whether it is these ideas, concepts, like our idea of like the way things should be. And the reality is just the world around us changes so much, and holding on to these things, it pulls us out of presence, and out of the present moment, which is the only place you can actually achieve or accomplish anything. Not that we all have to be accomplishing stuff all the time. There's my stuff coming in again. But yeah, I think it starts with that awareness, and so just the fact that you're putting that into the comments, you've got it. And I think once you have that awareness, then it's just a matter of being willing, being brave, right? Like, okay, how do I feel right now? What's coming up for me? Like, will I let that go? Will I allow that to leave my experience, or am I going to hold on to it and feel this way a little bit longer? And it's okay. Like sometimes, like sure, hold on to it, but like deep down, you gotta let it go. And even though it might be hard, on the other side of that is lightness, right? You can fill that space with whatever is showing up for you in the present moment, and greet it with your all. And so, yeah, Melissa's. That's a really good share. Maybe we can throw some stuff on your accountability board about that. Jessica says, Sandy, it also helps in the spring and summer when the days are lighter, longer. Oh, we're so spoiled living in sunny California. Like, I mean, it's all just sunshine usually here. Like we don't have to really contend with the winter months that Jessica's up against. So yeah, that's a whole other thing. I'm curious what people even do. I grew up in South Florida and then moved to Los Angeles. So like I've never even had to deal with it. I mean, you kind of had to deal with it, Alex, when you lived in Chicago.
10 years in Chicago, so I completely understand that. To be honest, it's been 10 plus years since I've lived in Chicago, so I can't relate to it as much now. But yeah, the winter months can be very challenging. And I know just like those first days of warm weather and the sun coming out, I just remember like the entire city of Chicago and all over the, the East Coast, Midwest, everywhere where you get real winter. I mean, the city just comes alive the second, it's bearable to be outside. So yeah, I think this is the perfect time to kind of,
Well, so what does everyone do? Join a gym if they want to work out and stuff? Like,
yeah, I mean, join a gym. There's a lot of great sports leagues in big cities that I know of. When I was younger and I was more inclined to join.
Yeah, you had your college girl metabolism.
Yeah, exactly. It was a totally different time.
You were probably eating junk food, getting no sleep, doing all those things, and somehow just
magically waking up with full energy.
Those
yes, I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I sometimes forget that other people have to deal with weather. And here we are, like just rushing to leave this city. But it is what it is. Beverly says, this topic is great. I thrive on clarity and intentional focus. I am most effective when I have a clear plan and intentional focus. However, I step into roles out of necessity, not desire. While capable, serving in multiple roles is draining my energy. Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of like what I was talking about before, like with changing too many things. Like, I think people love to like brag about like multitasking and stuff like that, but I actually remember like there was research done on that recently where it's not good. Like multitasking is not I mean, women do it better. Like that was scientifically confirmed that women are better multitaskers than men, but nobody was really built to have that many balls in the air. I mean, obviously we can push ourselves to limits, and like, look, we survived for thousands of years being chased by animals and having all sorts of problems popping up like whack-a-mole or whatever. But, in this day and in age, like we're also being just inundated with all that information, all these like, I mean, it's a new thing for humans to have a thing that, anyone can get your attention at whenever they want. I mean, Alex and I are elder millennials here. So like, I remember like when that wasn't a thing, when I didn't have a cell phone, and like, even if I wanted to call my mom or something, you would find a payphone or something like that. And like, simpler times for sure. And now, people can email you, they can text you, they can call, they can do all these things, and they have, all these responsibilities and demands, and we're all competing like for what? It's crazy. It's madness. And what it sounds like is some of that is jumping into your experience and preventing you from things that you actually want to choose to experience. So I mean, I don't know your the extent of this issue for you, but it sounds like a healthy boundary would be useful for you here. And so if you're interested in doing that for yourself, we do have some boundary setting programs inside of the app under the relationships, or what's it called, the connection compass. Yeah, so under that collection of programs, we have a few boundary setting ones. There's definitely a podcast or two about it. um, when my therapist taught me about boundaries, I felt like I got a new superpower. It's like,
Oh yeah,
you mean I can not have these things just override my better
I
judgment?
love
So
boundaries, but you're right. It took me years of therapy to really like recognize that yes, I can have boundaries and I can enforce them, and it's a much more peaceful existence when you can kind of say, you know what, no, this
yeah.
isn't. I don't need this right now. I can attend to this later. So you're worth it, Beverly. You're absolutely worth it. So I think boundaries for sure.
All right, we got Annie here. Says, with my hysterectomy coming up, I am hoping that this will help with my energy levels to be able to devote some time to the things I need to do. I also have much better insurance at the new job. Great. So
Good.
I am going to explore the mental health options available to
Yes.
help me process this huge change so I can work on not self-sabotaging when things will inevitably go against my plans. So, well, first off, like, we're all with you on that sounds super scary, but it's something that we know you can do, and but we're here to support you with our friendship here. At least friendly support, cheering you on during what must be incredibly difficult for you. So appreciate the vulnerability in that share there. But the other thing that I'm seeing here is just a ton of self-awareness in this comment. So I wouldn't be worried about you at all here. I think it sounds like you got something tough coming up, but you're not being unrealistic about anything. You're aware that maybe you have some self-sabotaging, some negative self-talk, or whatever it is coming up for you, and you know you have all the tools to handle that. And so I think the thing is like, if you're about to go through something like intensely, so physically intense as that, and let's be honest, emotionally, right? Just don't forget to create some space for yourself to relax and heal, and be kind to yourself in this process. That's a huge demand that your life is throwing at you at the moment. And so it's thank goodness you've got good insurance. A lot of people can't say the same, so that's a huge blessing to have in the midst of needing a procedure like that. And on the other side of it, you're aware that life shows up with highs and lows, and all I can say is we're here to be on that ride with you, as much as we can. And I just knowing from you showing up in these things, I'm not worried about you at all. I think our hearts are with you, and good luck with it.
Yes. We wish you the best of luck, Amy.
Sandy says, totally agree. Winter makes me want to go to bed early and makes me sad in some ways. Like now in California, it's super nice, so we'll get off after this and walk around the park for 20 minutes. Not easy to get up after dinner after a long day. I commute 2 to 4 hours a day to work, and just want to nap after dinner. Yeah, I'm about to crash. Like when this is over, yeah, dinner, and I am going to relax myself. But yeah, it sounds like people are adding the +1 on the winter, adding a little bit of a hard mode to that intention to be active after dinner.
Good for you, Sandy. Get a little fresh air. You deserve it.
Jessica says, the hardest part is getting started. I will overthink things. When should I do the exercises? How long? So on and so forth. Yeah. So, I think let go of that. Let go of the attachment to needing to hit a certain threshold. Just, start if you can. Challenge yourself. I think, if you can get good at starting stuff, well, then the challenge is, I can say I'm good at starting stuff. I start too many things. And so, just be aware that, that's the other end of that spectrum. But yeah, I mean, get started and see where it takes you. I think, like you said before, you're kind of on a journey here. Yeah, see where it carries you.
I'm
We're
much
all
more like you, Jessica. Just that getting started and getting that ball rolling is absolutely, the biggest challenge. And I overthink literally everything. So just know you're not alone in that. And like I said, just starting small and incorporating small changes into your lifestyle will just start slowly opening you up to, more things and a bigger community of people who can help you along the way.
There you go. Linda says, "Thank you so much for the warm welcome back. I enjoyed this evening. Looking forward to Friday's happy hour. Love you
Yeah.
guys and good night." Well,
Good
Linda,
night.
sounds like you're probably already out of here, but Linda's one of our OG journal party people. She hopped on that lifetime deal like right when it came out, and was just so supportive when journal party was just a little baby idea. And now we've got all sorts of people showing up, and it's so awesome to watch this thing grow. And it's all because we have people like Linda that show up. So appreciate you, Linda. And she's talking about Friday Happy Hour, which, if you guys aren't aware, is something we've been doing on Fridays. It's for the premium members. So if you're a member of Journal Party Premium, which is easy to get a trial to sign up through our app, you can then hop onto these Zoom calls with the community. We have Monday sessions that are for like stream of consciousness journaling, gratitude, and goal setting, and we have an accountability board, and that's more like productive. But on Fridays, we all just kind of hang and we do like fun, silly prompts and hang out, and it's been fun. I'm trying. I've learned, that's one of these other little hacks for myself, as somebody who like tends to overwork and like be obsessed about productivity and stuff. I can actually put leisure time on my calendar and then I abide by it. So that's my that's one of my ways that I'm building that in. So join me, come hang out on happy hour with me and Alex.
Yes.
And yeah,
It's
we'll
a
get
really
silly.
nice way to kind of kick off your weekend, and it's just feel good and fun and relaxing. So, highly recommend joining us if you can.
Yeah. Melissa said my parents called it the evening constitution. Is that the fart walks? Is that what we're talking about?
Not
I don't know, or is that something else?
days. I'm sorry, Melissa, if we're off track and we're not
Yeah.
sure what you're referring to.
There's physical things in my case. Oh, the things that you're holding on to. Gotcha. Mary said, my micro step is do it for 7 minutes. Do a mini workout, 7 minutes. Do 7 minutes of chores, 7 minutes of writing, 7 minutes meditation or breath work, etc.
That's a great idea, Mary. Yes.
7 minutes, nice little chunk.
Well,
timers though. Timers are super useful. I'm glad you called that out. I mean, that's one of like the cornerstones of the whole journal party thing is, it's so much easier to keep yourself, moving from, and on schedule when you have those timers. So anybody ever does like the Pomodoro technique, or, inside of the app, we got the little timers for the prompts for the journaling stuff. But actually someone in our community on the app, called out that we should just have generic timers for people who want to do like stream of consciousness journaling or whatever. So let's look for those coming up. She was suggesting a 15-minute timer. Maybe we'll do 7-minute timer as a shout out to Mary. Teresa says, where are most of the people chatting? Oh, okay. So I can see you're on Facebook. We've had a lot more people on the YouTubes lately. So if you want to see, if you're like, who are these people? Like, where are they coming from? It's the YouTubers that you're probably seeing there. We got quite a few more of those, and that's why I've been building out all this studio stuff here. I'm going to try to cater a little bit more to YouTube because they started paying us, and the people showing up, chatting with us. So you gotta give the people what they want,
Teresa, I can't see on my end in this program what people are saying in the chat, so I'm right there with you sometimes.
Oh yeah. I shouldn't assume. I hope the experience is sorry for everyone, because like I see all the chats, and then I got to remember that it's only the ones that we like highlight that actually show up. But we'll figure that out, Alex. Maybe there's another program where you can actually dig into the chats. That would be super helpful for me personally. Um, okay, 1 second. All right. Sandy said, I long for simpler times, trying to get back to that and unplug more. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's probably in reference to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy, like the way that our like, I mean, now people are literally having to do like dopamine detoxes because we've been just so hijacked. I want, maybe there's a program that we can do for that. I mean, it's weird because we've got like, an app that administers all this and there's a lot of tech around it. But like, I feel like, I don't know, maybe we can put together a little bit of like a digital detox kind of thing for people. I don't know.
I think
Write
everyone
that down and chew on that for a little bit.
really use that at this point in time for sure.
Teresa says, space for grace. Love it. Awesome. Mary says she loves happy hour. It's always a good time. Mary's always showing up.
Mary, thank you for coming and entertaining us.
And yeah, Dee was showed up to the last happy hour too, right? Fun times here. Good night. So Dee's checked out. All right. Well, you know what? I think it's about time for us to check out as well. We are over an hour already. Time flies when you're having fun and reflecting and doing all those things. So folks, thank you so much for journaling with us this evening. And as always, you guys really make the party. I tend to show up to these things with different energy levels, different, states of mind. And, by the time we're done through it, I'm just transformed. Right now, I've gone from being like tired and wired to like relaxed, slightly energized, but just enough energy to like clean burn out through the rest of the evening. And I've got my marching orders for tomorrow, and they demand that I march right into a nap. So I'm very excited about all that, and I hope you all found this valuable. Alex, do you have anything you wanted to add before we wrap it up this evening?
No, I don't think so. Just, this is amazing as always, and love seeing and hearing from everyone in the community. And we'll do this next week. And like you said, we have Fridays available now. So just looking forward to the community that we're building.
Awesome. Well, it's been so much more fun since you show up on these, Alex. So thank you once again for lending your sweetheart and beautiful face. I know it's got to be stopping people. There's got to be people on YouTube being like, "Who is that beautiful woman? We need a journal with her," and it's helpful.
You're so kind. You're a good husband. You know exactly what to say.
Awesome. All right, everyone. Well, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening and get to rest early. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, rest of your week. And if we don't see you on Friday, we'll see you next week. Party on.